Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. My devoted pranams to Swami Atmajnanandaji and our Raghu Maharaj. I don't remember the Atmajnanandaji. My love and affection to Maharaj, dear devotees, I am very happy to be with you all. I'll be speaking in English. I hope it's not a problem. Puriyatya. So, it's like a homecoming to Chennai. So it was wonderful. Memories are associated with Chennai Math. The topic that Ramakrishna-Vivekananda has suggested is essentials of spiritual life. Now the topic suggests some ideas. First thing is life. What is life? What do we understand by life? Swami Vivekananda says life is the manifestation, life is a struggle to manifest the perfection already within the human being. This is one of the definitions that Swamiji gives. So life is a struggle. It's not something which is easy. It is not something which is granted. One has to struggle to manifest the divinity within or the perfection within. Life means different things to different people according to their level of understanding, according to their maturity, according to how much they are able to manifest the divinity within or perfection within, isn't it? Life does not mean the same thing to everybody. In Indian society, life has a different meaning. In the West, life has a different meaning. In India, the purpose of human life is to attain moksha. That's the general idea. Everybody wants to have moksha. What they understand by moksha is different. They may not know the exact meaning of moksha. But moksha is an ideal which everybody wants. They don't know what it exactly means. Some of them want to go and stay in Vrindavan, some of them go and stay in Kashi, thinking they will have moksha. In the West, life has different meanings. First thing that you will find, life means enjoyment. Life means making money. Life means living as you want, not to be dictated, not to be conditioned, either by the church or by the society. Life means to live as you want, do as you want, go as you want. But then there is an important idea which I find in the West. That is care for the human being. They take so much care of every human being. I mean, when you travel on the road, when you are going on the road, you can observe this. Suppose there is somebody crossing the road, all vehicles just stop instantly. The person does not have to show his hand or do anything. All vehicles stop. They give respect to the human being. They give respect to animals. They give respect to life. You don't find that here. And therefore, their roads, their social system is all very beautifully made to give comfort to the human being. Suppose you want to cross the road, there are lamp posts with a button, electric button. You just push the button, immediately the red light comes and all traffic has to stop. Okay? And you can cross the road. You don't have to wait there indefinitely, waiting for the police or somebody to show the hand. And then you see in our roads, you have to wait so much time. Old people or maybe patients in wheelchair, they just have to press the button and then all traffic stops and they can go across. So these are something which we need to learn from them and care for the environment regarding pollution, regarding pesticides. They take so much care about all this. So life has different meanings in different societies based on what ideals we choose in life. So in India, somehow or the other, in Hinduism, in Sanatana Dharma, you have moksha, liberation from the miseries of life as the idea. Now, miseries of life, what are the miseries of life? In life, it is supposed to be three tapa. Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika. These are the three types of miseries that you all know. We chant Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti after every mantra in order to avoid these three miseries in life. So now, whether we have experienced these three miseries, how many of us feel that we are suffering in life? Oh no, we have every comfort in the house, we have money, we have a nice house, we have a good family, we have a car, maybe one or two cars. So where is the question of misery? We don't feel the misery in life. Only when we feel the misery will we want liberation, will we want something better than the miserable state we are in, isn't it? So this misery or feeling of suffering is the first step in order to give us some direction in life. Suffering, misery opens our discrimination, viveka. Oh, why am I suffering? Why do I have this suffering? Why is the other person happy and why am I getting this suffering? This viveka comes, this vichara comes in the mind. So that is the first step for development in life, to understand that the world that we are experiencing is not permanent, is temporary, is tatkalika, which will go on modifying. It goes on changing. Our reliance, our faith or our dependence on the world will reduce when we understand that it is not a permanent thing. There is something behind this which is permanent. There is something which is eternal. There is something which is more permanent than this world that we experience. So when we get this conviction that there is a supreme power, call it God, call it Ishvara, call it whatever you want. When you get this idea that God is more permanent than this fleeting world, then you start searching for Him. Till then, it is just belief. It may be just words. It may be lip sympathy, but not actual sadhana. So, first thing is to accept and to understand and to discriminate about the position in the world, about your life in the world. So this is about life. Now, when you say essentials in spiritual life, that means life has different aspects, spiritual, worldly, materialistic, all these attitudes are there. So we are concerned with spiritual life because we are all devotees. We all want to know about how to be better devotees, how to be more connected to Sri Ramakrishna or Ishvara or God, how to remember or meditate or think about the Supreme more frequently than what we are doing now. This is what every devotee wants. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha paryupasate. Shri Krishna says, he who can think of me, he means a human being, he or she, who can think of me constantly, always, who can put his mind in me, is connected to me, Shri Krishna says. So, the idea or the ideal of human life is to put your mind in God, to hold on to God, to hold on to your Ishtadevata. Sri Ramakrishna used to give a beautiful example to illustrate this. When you read the Gospel, you will get this parable. Sri Ramakrishna says, children, when they are playing, they hold the pillar and go round and round, singing and dancing, isn't it? They go on playing like that. As long as they are holding to the pillar, they are steady. Once they give up the pillar, once they lose their hold on the pillar, their head starts reeling. They can fall, isn't it? They lose their steadiness. So similarly, as long as we hold on to the divine, the Ishtadevata, the God, or the Guru's mantra, we can face the problems in life. We can face the struggles in life. We do not lose balance. So many times we have question and answer sessions in the West. This is a very frequent thing. People have no idea about Indian traditions, Indian customs, or Hindu dharma. So they have different types of questions. They ask, oh, why do you do this? Why do you do that? They are all Christians there. So they have questions. So it's very important to answer those questions and think about our actions, why we do certain things. So, mantra, diksha, initiation, or the spiritual practices, it is new for them. So they ask, oh, why should we have a guru? Why should we go for a mantra? Why can't I simply repeat Om Namah Shivaya or Krishna, Krishna? They know some of these names, Shiva, Krishna. So we have to explain to them, no, mantra has a special significance. The guru is an important person in spiritual life. So as long as you hold on to the mantra, as long as you hold on to the path that the guru has shown you, you don't lose your way in spiritual life. So, spiritual life. And then again, he has put essentials of spiritual life. So again, there are things which are not essential in spiritual life. There are things which are more important, which are primary and secondary. So what are these things which are not essential in spiritual life? Rituals, doing puja, going to various temples, bowing down, all these, they are important. They are very important. But in the initial stages, a time comes or you reach a stage when your mind is automatically in God. You don't need these externals then. Isn't it? So, till then, these are essential. But a stage comes when these become non-essential and the core or remembering the Lord, loving the Lord, constant memory of the Lord becomes the most important thing. You can't live without the Lord. You can't live without thinking about God. That is the stage where the devotee reaches. Swami Atmajnanandaji, in the book Meditation and Spiritual Life, when he is explaining about meditation, he says, first the devotee looks at a picture or an idol of the Ishtadevata or God and tries to meditate or tries to think about Ishtadevata. You have a picture of Ramakrishna, or you sit in the temple, look at the image of Sri Ramakrishna and try to meditate or remember him. Maybe you close your eyes also and try to meditate. You are here and the statue of Sri Ramakrishna, the image of Sri Ramakrishna is there. They are two separate entities. There is no connection, isn't it? But a stage comes when you feel that the image, the murti of Sri Ramakrishna is a living presence. It's not just a stone image. It's a living presence. Sri Ramakrishna is sitting there. Sri Ramakrishna is looking at you. You are looking at him. He is talking to you. This is a stage where there is a dynamic relationship between you and the Ishtadevata. Sri Ramakrishna tells about this. You see, Totapuri, his teacher, who came and gave him instruction about Advaita Vedanta, Totapuri did not believe about God with form, Sakara. He was an Advaitin. He had realized the Supreme Brahman through Advaita Sadhana, Advaita Marga. So he did not believe about these rituals and temples and worship and all that. Sri Ramakrishna was one day singing some song in praise of Mother, clapping his hands. So Totapuri started making fun of Sri Ramakrishna. Oh, are you making chapatis? Sri Ramakrishna said, you fool, do you think I am making chapatis? I am singing the name of the blissful Mother. I am singing the name of my mother, he says. And Sri Totapuri says, oh, that is an image, that's a stone image. Sri Ramakrishna says, no, she is not a stone image, she is Chinmayi, she is not Mridmayi. Mridmayi means made of mud, made of stone or something like that, made of something from the earth. She is not Mridmayi, she is Chinmayi, she is consciousness, she is living, she is present there. This is what Sri Ramakrishna did when he did his sadhana. He did not do worship like the other pujaris, simply going and offering flowers and doing some mantras and then throwing flowers at the mother. No. He used to check whether mother is living there by holding a cotton to her nose and see if she is breathing. He used to take things from the plate which was meant for offering and then take it to her mouth and say, oh mother, you please eat. So that was the relationship. He saw her as living. It was not an image, it was not a store image, it was a living image for him. That is why when the priest of the Radhakanta temple, you see, one day, because of his carelessness, the image of Krishna fell from his hand and the leg broke. The owner of the temple, Mathur Babu, he said, oh, we will replace the image with a new image of Krishna. Sri Ramakrishna said, if your son-in-law breaks his leg, will you throw him and get a new son-in-law? No. You will get him treated. You will see that his leg is treated and then he will be a part of your family. So now why can't we repair this image? Why can't we join the leg and continue to worship? He did not think it is wrong. There was a relationship with the Lord, isn't it? It was not just an image. It was a living image for him. Mridmayana, Chinmaya. So, Yatishwanji says, this stage comes when the devotee sees the image as living. That's the second stage. And third stage, Yatishwanji says, the devotee starts feeling the presence of the Lord in his own heart as the Antaryamin. Not as seated in front in the image, but as his own consciousness, as the Antaryamin within his own heart. Whether he has opened his eyes or whether he is closing his eyes, he is always in the presence of the divine. So that's the third stage. And the final stage is when he becomes one, when he feels only the Lord is there and he is not there anymore. Only the Lord is there. His ego is completely merged in the divine. So that is the essential of spiritual life. The essential of spiritual life is to feel the presence of the divine, to feel the presence of God in your life, every moment of your life. That is what it means when you say Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Janah Paryupasate. Ananya, without any break, Nirantara. It is not haphazard. Today I think of God, tomorrow I think about the world, tomorrow I think about America. No. It's a constant memory. Like breathing, like respiration. It is unconscious. You don't force yourself to breathe. It is a natural process, isn't it? Every child, when it is born, is made to breathe naturally. The mother or the nurse holds it upside down, isn't it? And then the child starts breathing. Till then, it was in the womb. It used to take nutrients from the mother. When it comes out, it has to learn to breathe. And then once it starts breathing, it's a continuous process till something happens and it has to pass away. So that is how it's a natural process. Similarly, thinking about God, thinking about the divine, Ishtadevata, becomes a natural process. There is no effort, there is joy in it. So this is essentials of spiritual life. So we have to be careful in spiritual life to separate non-essentials from essentials. We give so much importance to rituals, to external observances, without remembering the actual purpose of behind the ritual. Why do we do puja? In order to have a connection with the Lord, to have a relationship with the Lord, to feel the presence of the Lord, not just to follow some tradition, isn't it? Oh, it's Diwali, so we have to do something, we have to keep some lamps. No, that's not the purpose. Why do we light the lamp? Why do you do the puja? To have a relationship with the divine. The essential purpose must never be forgotten. Rituals must not become more important than the purpose behind the ritual. Swami Atmajnanandaji, in his book Life and Legacy of Sri Ramakrishna, he gives a beautiful example to illustrate this. He says there are two aspects in every religion. One is the cult, the cultural aspects of the religion, and the second is the core of the religion, the essential in the religion, the central part in the religion. The cult or the culture is the ritual aspect, the temple, the idol, the rituals connected with the temple. It is like the husk of the paddy, the covering of the paddy. Whereas the core, the essential of the religion is the grain inside. If you give importance to the husk rather than the core, the grain inside, it's a waste of time, isn't it? Or it is foolishness to give more importance to the husk rather than the throwing of the grain. So, essentials in religion are those which take you closer to God, nearer to the divine. Now, what are the essentials of religion? All of you know the essentials of religion: Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. These have already been told many times, probably by Maharaj and others here. Shravana means to listen, to hear. Hear what? What do you hear? According to Vedanta, you hear the Mahavakyas, the great sayings, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi. All these great mantras which indicate that you are divine, that the core of your personality is one with the Supreme. So, hearing these mantras, hearing to these Mahavakyas, hearing to the instructions of the Guru, hearing to the mantra with attention, with concentration, with faith, with Shraddha, that is Shravana. We hear to so many things. We hear so many things in our day-to-day life. Things which are not essential to our life, things which are essential. Maybe something about gossip. Oh, that person is doing this person is doing that. Gossip, which is not essential to our life, which we need not hear, which we need not give attention. But we waste so much time in listening to things which are unwanted, which are not of any importance in our life. So, Shravana means listening to the truth, listening to the essential aspect of religion, listening to the core of religion. Shravana is listening to the Abheda Vakya, or your union with the Supreme, that you are a child of God, that God is your Antaryamin. This is also Mahavakya. God resides in you. God is close to you. God is your father, mother. Tvameva Mata, Pita Tvameva. All these are wonderful ideas which can help you to meditate, which can bring you closer to God. Shravana is anything that can help you to relate to God. Anything that can take you closer to God can be taken as Shravana. Then comes Manana. After you hear something, you have to meditate on it. You have to think about it. You have to allow it to go within. Allow it to sink deep within. Sri Ramakrishna used to give a beautiful example. He used to say, the oyster, the pearl oyster, is in the ocean. It is there deep within. But once in a way, it comes up, takes the drop of water from the Swati star, and then goes deep within, meditates on it, and converts that into a pearl oyster. It's a poetic description. Actually, the oyster shell is there within the ocean, and when a dust particle or something enters it, it starts pouring the pearl material around the dust material, and then a pearl, a beautiful, valuable pearl is formed. That dust or that thing which entered from outside is converted into a most valuable object. You see, something negative is converted into something precious, positive, something which you like and which you pay so much money to buy, isn't it? So like that, Sri Ramakrishna says, meditate. When you get an idea, just don't forget. Some people have a beautiful habit of writing it down and thinking about it. Maybe after some years, look, oh, what did I learn from this talk? What did I learn from this conversation? And then they remember, they sit and meditate on it. That's a beautiful idea. In the West, in most of our classes, I take classes on Yoga Sutras. So people come prepared. They come prepared. I have to mention, I'll be talking about these 2 sutras or 3 sutras. They prepare and come. Read the bhashyas, everything they read. Everything is available in the internet now. And then they bring books, notes, they make notes. So that seriousness is there, you see. Awareness about spiritual life, or that curiosity to know more about spiritual life. For us in India, in Bharata, there are so many temples are there, so many religions are there, so many organizations are there. If I go, it's okay. If I don't go, it's okay. I go today, I go after another time. It's a casual thing. Whereas for them, in a different society, they are Christians. When they come to our center, they come with a lot of commitment because they know it's a different thing, it's a different culture. And then to enter our temple or to come to our lectures, they come well prepared. They are eager to know something which they don't get in their religion. They are not happy with their Christianity. They want something higher, something better than what their church gives them. So that's why they come. And when they come, they are very sincere, they are very curious, and also when they find something original, they become very interested and committed, unlike us. Okay? So now, Shravana, Manana, and then comes Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana is complete absorption, complete focus, concentration on the meaning of the Mahavakya or what you have heard. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, these are considered the first preliminary steps in any sadhana. You have to hear. Hear from whom? Hear from somebody who knows, who has an experience, who has experienced something in spiritual life. Somebody who knows more than you, who can give you some light, some understanding about spiritual life. You can call him the Guru. It may be the Guru. It may be the Upaguru. In Sanatana Dharma, in the Hindu tradition, We have the Guru who directs you in the spiritual life, who gives you the mantra, who connects you to the Ishtadevata. Or you have Upaguru, from whom you can learn other things, not the ultimate path. Maybe somebody who teaches you something which is helpful to you in your life, you can call him an Upaguru. So, these ideas from the Upaguru are also to be meditated upon because they help you in your life to become a better person, to become a better sadhaka. So, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. This is the process of understanding spiritual truths. And when you understand, whatever you think, whatever you understand, you start practicing. Without understanding, that conviction does not come. I have to do. Just this morning, I was reading about the brain, the human brain. So according to neuroscience, neurology, this brain, the human brain, is not something static. It is a dynamic organ. The child, when it is born, the neurons in the brain, they start changing, forming new connections based on what the child learns. So as the child learns, maybe language, music, or something else, so fresh connections are formed. And through abhyasa, when you go on repeating an action, the connection becomes stronger and stronger. Pathways are made, neural networks are formed. And it becomes a permanent connection, permanent link. If you don't repeat, they tend to disappear after some time. Therefore, abhyasa, practice, repeated effort is given a lot of importance. In Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, Patanjali mentions, he says, abhyasa and vairagya. These are the two methods to sadhana, to reach samadhi. Sri Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asks Sri Krishna, he says, it's so difficult to control this mind, this turbulent mind which is like wind, unable to grasp, unable to hold. I find it so difficult to control this mind. Krishna says, no, it is possible to control this mind. People have controlled this mind. The technique is through abhyasa and vairagya. What is abhyasa? Abhyasa is nairantarya, constant practice, to do it regularly, every day. And vairagya is not to become a sannyasi. Vairagya means to give up things which are not conducive to your spiritual path. That's all. Whoever it is, I decide, I choose, no, this is helpful to me, I use this. I don't want this, I don't think about it. So you save energy by removing non-essentials. When you go to the supermarket, when you go to the market to buy something, you have a list. Oh, I need these things in my house today. I have to buy potatoes, I have to buy brinjal, I have to buy some detergent. You have a list, isn't it? You don't go to the market searching for things. You have a mental list or written list. The wife gives a list to the husband and says, oh, please bring this. Or something like that, isn't it? And you go and then just buy whatever you need and then come out. You don't spend hours. Of course, people do spend hours in the supermarkets because the ACs are there and then it's comfortable. Window shopping is there. But you try to avoid wastage of time by buying whatever you need and you overlook the other things. There are so many things attractive. The supermarket marketing technique is built on this idea to exhibit as much as possible, because when you see, you get attracted. A desire is created in your mind. Oh, maybe I think I will use this. Maybe this is required in my house. I don't have this. And then you go and buy, you spend money. That's the logic behind all the supermarkets now. So exposure and advertisement, trying to make you aware of things that they have produced. Consumerist society. In the West, this is much more. You have floods of things. If you want to go and buy a soap, you will find hundreds of varieties of soap in the market. Shampoos, soaps, you won't know what to choose, what to buy. So much. Consumerist society, so much of production. They produce so much and it takes a toll on the environment, isn't it, ultimately? Anyhow, so Abhyasa and Vairagya, you have to decide what is essential for me and what is not essential for me in my life. This is a very important decision that we need to take in our life. The decision of choosing things. Only the human being has this wonderful ability to choose. The animal does not decide. The animal does not think like a human being, isn't it? It just takes whatever comes in its front. It has to satisfy its hunger, goes and hunts something or eats something. It does not choose, no, I want a better food. Whereas the human being, we choose. We want to eat a dosa. We will choose which restaurant to go, where it's tastier or where it's cheaper, where it's close to my house. All these things determine my going to the restaurant, isn't it? So now this problem of choice is a very important problem in our life. To decide. And what do you need to decide? You need the willpower, a strong will. No, I want only this, I don't want that. You must know how to say no to certain things. I don't want this. No, I don't want to smoke a cigarette. It's going to be harmful. I don't want to go there because it wastes my time. I don't want to go to the cinema because it can disturb my mind. It's a waste of time, waste of money. You have to decide. All this is based on individual's decision, choice. From choice comes awareness. I decide, I am aware what I want, what I don't want, what are the goals in my life, and how much effort I put to reach the goal. So from choice, from this decision making comes awareness of life, problems and solutions in life. So essentials in spiritual life, like in any other field, is the capacity to decide. Viveka, Vichara, Abhyasa and Vairagya. These are the essentials in spiritual life. These are described in various scriptures in different forms. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, all this you have heard about this. To be careful about what you see, what you hear, what you do. These are Yama, Niyama. To control your senses, to control your mind, to control your reactions. So, if you do this, if you are aware of what you are doing, if you are aware of your thoughts, if you are aware of your actions, there is an automatic control of the mind. The mind tends to be quiet, not restless. Swami Atmajnanandaji Maharaj, he used to give a beautiful example. He used to say, when the child knows that the mother is observing it, the child is careful, the child becomes silent. Otherwise it is restless. It wants to do this, it wants to break that. But when the child sees the mother is observing, it becomes careful. It does not do mischief because the mother will scold. Mother is observing. So like that, when the human mind, this is a wonderful capacity that the human mind has. A part of the mind can observe the other part of the mind, isn't it? No animal can do this, whereas the human mind can observe itself. So use this facility, use this gift which God has given to observe your mind, to look into your mind and to change your mind. And neuroscience, as I was telling you, says this brain is a dynamic thing. It can be changed. You can sculpt your brain. You can change your brain. through your thoughts, through your actions. This is what spirituality also says. This is what Hindu Dharma says. Mantra is the best method through which you can change the brain structure, isn't it? To make it think more about the divine, the Ishta Devata, rather than the world. The next idea that I was thinking about, in this world, you will find two ideals, two goals. In Sanskrit, we call it pravritti and nivritti. Pravritti is to get engaged with the world, to always think about the world, the pleasures of the world, or worldly attachments. Pravritti, going towards the world, into the world, becoming more entangled, a worldly attitude, a materialistic attitude, okay? Always thinking about what I can get from the world, how I can enjoy the world. That is pravritti. Nivritti is withdrawing, taking the mind away from the world and putting it in something higher, something better, something more permanent, God or whatever you call it. Nivritti is withdrawal, pravritti is engaging, going and immersing yourself in action or in the world. So these two attitudes you will find in people. Getting engaged, getting involved, more and more involved, or withdrawing. When you sit for meditate, when you come to the center to listen to the arati or sit and meditate or listen to a lecture, it is nivritti. You are withdrawing from the social engagements. Suppose you had to go to a marriage, you had to go to some other program, you say, no, I cannot go there, I have to attend the ashrama. I have to go to the ashrama for the prayer. So you avoid that and come here. It is nivritti, isn't it? You are forcefully taking your mind away from worldly engagements to put your mind in God. So this pravritti and nivritti. So constantly we have to ask our mind how much it is involved in the world and how much time it is able to give to God. If we do this, it is a process of awareness, being aware of the tendency in your mind. One very senior Swami, when I was a college student, so he gave me a beautiful idea one day. I used to ask him questions, and I asked him a question one day. I asked him, Swami, how do I understand that I am progressing in spiritual life? How do I understand that my mind is changing? So the Swami said, oh, that's easy. He's a senior Swami, he's still there. He's a very senior Swami. He said, that's easy. You have to judge yourself. You have to understand yourself. How do you do it? He said, when you go back home, just open the door and imagine you are standing here inside the house. You are coming into the house in a subtle form or whatever it is. You are entering the house, facing you. Now, how do you look upon yourself? How do you respect, whether you look upon that person with respect or neglect? Did you understand what I'm saying? You just look at yourself entering the house, and when some guest comes, suppose your father comes, your mother comes, a close friend comes, what do? You get up, you take some things and say, oh, come, please come up. I've not seen you for a long time and all this. Then you prepare a coffee or a tea and then welcome and then go on talking, ask about his health and all that, isn't it? There is so much of affection, there is so much of respect and love. So, when you see your self-image coming, do you treat it with respect? Do you treat it like you treat your close friend, like somebody whom you adore, or like your enemy, somebody whom you don't like at all, whom you don't want to enter the house? So that depends, isn't it? So this is a very wonderful way of self-judgment, self-analysis. So the Swami had given me this idea. I found it very useful. It's a beautiful way of analyzing yourself, the thoughts. Another idea he told me was, he said, just think, during this time, last year, what was the nature of my mind? What were the type of thoughts that I had in my mind? And 2 years back, what was the nature of the thoughts in my mind? So you understand the change in the thought pattern. You understand the trend of your mind. You'll be able to judge the progress that you are making or the type of thoughts that are coming in your mind through this process. So these are the various ways you will find in our books, in Paramartha Prasanga, Eternal Companion. You have so many beautiful books which are published by the Ramakrishna order about the essentials of spiritual life, about the basic things that are necessary in spiritual life. Try to read them and put them into practice. The Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the Gospel of Holy Mother, these are the best books. Of course, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, if you have time, read them also. The most important thing is to follow a path, to have a goal, to select a path, and to hold on to the path, isn't it? Whether you are a Gnana Marga or Bhakti Marga, Karma, whichever suits you, or a combination, as Swami Vivekananda says, a combination of all this. But the goal is each soul is potentially divine and to manifest that divinity within through all your actions. That is what we need to do. There is a beautiful incident in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. I'll close with that. There was one young boy who used to come to Sri Ramakrishna, Sharat, who later on became Swami Sharadananda. So when Sharat came to Sri Ramakrishna for the first time, Sri Ramakrishna used to ask these young boys some questions to understand their mind, what they want. Oh, what is your ideal? How do you look upon God? So sometimes they used to say, I like God with form, God without form, and all this. So the Sharat, Sri Ramakrishna asked him, what is your attitude to God? How do you like to think about God? Sharat, this young boy, in his natural, simple way, he said, I want to see God everywhere, in every being. Sri Ramakrishna says, oh, that is the last word in spiritual realization, to perceive the same consciousness, the same divine in every being, irrespective of caste, creed, sex or race. That is the highest realization. You want to reach the highest. So Sri Ramakrishna was happy with his answer. So that is the highest realization, to see God everywhere, feeling or seeing the presence of God everywhere, not seeing difference. Holy Mother, in her last saying, in the last message to humanity, she said, my child, if you want peace of mind, do not see faults in others. Try to make the whole world your own. Isn't it? Okay, thank you. I am very grateful to Swami Atmajnanandaji for giving me this wonderful opportunity to think and meditate on spiritual life. My prayers to Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Sarada Devi, Swamiji and Shashi Maharaj, our Shashi Maharaj, to bless us all with the right attitude and right spiritual love for Sri Ramakrishna. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sat.